new column in the Washington Post, a writer by the name of Allison Chu argues we should maybe take some cold showers in the name of saving the environment. It's titled, "Why You Should Embrace Using Cold Water Almost All the Time. Heating water gobbles energy, leading to higher utility bills and more planet warming emissions." Does it, Chu? Does it? Now, she argues that water heating is responsible for more than 10% of both annual residential energy use and consumer utility costs. The biggest share after air conditioning and heating, according to the Energy Department. While there are some home improvements that can help you cut back on the energy it takes to heat water, including installing a heat pump water heater, one easy solution is to switch to cold water. Okay, so I already hate this. But I'm like, let me give her a chance. Maybe she's gonna make a really great argument, and maybe there are some areas in my life in which I'm using hot water and I can switch to cold water, maybe, right? She did not make a compelling case for me, but I do wanna tell you what she's arguing so you can decide for yourself. So she urges you to wash your clothes with cold water instead of hot water, even though she concedes hot water settings are only really necessary for sanitizing or if your clothes have grease on them. Cool, then I'm gonna go ahead and use the hot water to sanitize the clothes that I'm washing, especially with my husband who is an athletics coach and sweats like crazy. Okay, he's like, okay, so far not very persuasive. She argues, no, but don't worry, because even the laundry detergent that specifically states that you should use hot water, you can actually use with cold water and they work kind of okay. All right, I'm gonna use the hot water when necessary. Then she argues, you should use cold water as you wash your dishes, even though the same rules kind of apply when it comes to hot water being used specifically to sanitize your dishes. That's the whole point. But the most unhinged argument that she makes, in my opinion, is that we should all be taking cold showers.
Yeah.
Have you taken a cold shower before, Waz?
So here's the thing. I live in the valley. In the summertime, it gets cold. It's routinely like 98, 100 degrees. I like to keep my AC around like 73, nothing crazy, 72 when I'm feeling frisky. I don't go crazy with the AC. But I do like to take a colder shower in the summer. Air dry, you get the natural ventilation. It's like a natural AC almost, right? In the summertime, sure, no problem. I live in the valley. However, under what other circumstances could you reasonably expect people to take cold? It's absolutely insane to suggest people should be doing this. And also the thing that I hate about it, it's this nonsense we've been sold that preserving the planet is going to happen by a bunch of these individual choices.
Yes.
It's freaking crap.
Yes.
It's not true.
Yes.
We're not gonna preserve the planet because I chose to individually put this soda can in one dumpster and not the other. Like, it's nonsense, and I hate that people still feed into this crap where we try to guilt people into thinking it's their fault that the planet is being ruined, even though this ruination is happening on an industrial level and not an individual one.
So I'm gonna read the entirety of her cold shower argument, and then I'm gonna tell you how energy use breaks down in the United States. So you get a sense of how ridiculous it is to point to individuals. I mean, I feel so, there's so many kind-hearted people in this country who are rightly, genuinely concerned about climate change and the environment. And I just feel bad for the poor schmucks who are going to take this advice to heart and torture themselves with cold, unpleasant showers, thinking that they're doing their part. So she writes, your steamy showers also consume energy. Nearly half of a home's hot water is used for bathing. A cold shower not only uses less energy than a hot one, but it also makes you a miserable human being. And wouldn't that be great if you were more miserable than you already are? I'm just kidding, she did not write that. But it also saves water because you don't have to run the tap while you wait for it to heat up. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay,
How can this be printed in the Washington Post, dude? I mean, Jesus, this is barely, a blog material, personal blog. Remember the web blog era where everybody had their own personal blog and everybody was just documenting their mundane ass lives? This ain't even blogger material. Like the fact that the editorial at Washington Post is like, yes, let's implore people to torture themselves for the rest of their lives is nuts.
What happens to Minnesotans in the dead of winter? Do they take the cold showers too?
It's just insane.
How about Chicago in the middle of winter? Do they take the cold showers in the name of saving our environment? Okay, let's look at what the reports from the US Energy Information Administration say about energy use here in the United States. Who uses the most energy, broken down by sectors? Because households must be using the, residential only accounts for 16% of the energy use in the United States. Wow. I mean, come on. Look at the rest. Transportation, that includes mass transportation, that includes people driving their vehicles, that accounts for 36% of the energy usage. 35% pertains to the industrial sector using up energy. So industrial sector uses up 35% of the energy. And then commercial uses up 13% of the energy, whereas residential only 16%. And if you're wondering, how do they break down or how do they differentiate industrial from commercial? Industrial includes manufacturing, agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting. Commercial includes energy consumed by businesses, federal, state, and local governments and public organizations such as religious organizations, social and fraternal groups, and so that's how they break it up. But look, the point is, households are not the problem here. Individuals, yes, individuals might contribute a little to climate change, but not to the extent that businesses do, not to the extent that industry does, commercial businesses do. Like, it's just, I'm so sick of the onus being shifted onto individuals. And more importantly, like, look, if you want to win over the hearts and minds of Americans and get them to take climate change or the climate emergency seriously, you're not gonna do it by front loading this like ridiculous message of, you have to make your life miserable. You're the problem and you have to make your life miserable. I'm not gonna take, I attempted to take cold showers when the boiler in our building was broken. This was like a few years ago. I tried, I tried to take the cold shower because I had no other choice, right? It was, I couldn't do it, but I was desperate. So I went and did one of those like 1 week trials at a yoga studio nearby just so I could use their shower. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, that's when you needed to, put the pot of water boiling and get a tub and throw it in there.
I did that.
To do that.
It was so funny because we had like teapots on the stove heating water that way. And then I would go put the water in the bathtub and then go back and heat more. But by the time it got cold. Let's just put it that way. It got cold. It didn't work.
Yeah, no, I would because, I've gotten in the shower after my lady before, and that thing is piping hot. Like literally, I thought my skin was going to get singed from this. I'm like, yo, this is psychopathic. This is crazy. The heat level that this woman showers with, it's scary, dude. Like I was literally in there, like I was literally. By the time I got to the dial. So like I said, like I like a colder shower. I don't need it to be hot. I love it when I get out the shower and there's no steam, you feel me? Like it's like, oh, this is a good shower. I didn't like just hot up myself in the 95-degree weather, But yeah, telling people like, yo, you should torture yourself, like some kind of masochist in order to save the planet. People are gonna be like, buddy, let me tell you something about the planet. It could go off because I am not doing that.
That's the way normal people are gonna react to this kind of stuff. And so this is not a good strategy. Don't advocate for nonsense like this. It's just not gonna work and no one's gonna listen to it. And maybe a few people do it's not going to change the course that we've been headed in regard to our environment.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.